Have you ever had a huge dream? Something you wanted more than anything, but found yourself stuck, just wishing for it to happen? Today I want to share a story about a boy named Arav, and it might just change the way you look at your own goals. Arav was a boy full of potential, smart, talented, and had dreams as big as the sky. He wanted to become a respected scholar, travel the world, and make a real difference. But there was a problem. Arav was, he was lazy. He'd spend his days daydreaming, talking about all the amazing things he was going to do someday. When it came time to act, he'd always find an excuse. "I'll start tomorrow," he'd say. But tomorrow never seemed to arrive. His big dreams were like beautiful, distant stars, wonderful to look at, but he never took the first step to reach them. In his neighborhood lived a man named Gopal Kaka, a retired army officer. Gopal Kaka was the complete opposite of Arav. Every single morning, without fail, you could see him jogging at the crack of dawn, his posture perfect, his pace steady. He tended to his garden with meticulous care, and his home was a picture of order and discipline. To Arav and the other kids, he was a bit of an enigma, a figure of quiet strength. One afternoon, Arav was sitting on his porch, once again complaining about how unfair life was and how his dreams felt so far away. Gopal Kaka, who was watering his plants nearby, overheard him. He walked over, a gentle smile on his face, and said, "Arav, you look at your dreams like a mountain you have to climb in one giant leap. But that's not how you reach the summit." Arav looked up, intrigued. Gopal Kaka picked up a tiny seed from one of his flower pots. "Habits are like these seeds," he explained. "When you first plant one, it seems like nothing. It's small, insignificant. But if you water it every single day, just a little bit, it will grow into a strong tree." Success isn't about one heroic act. It comes from small actions, repeated consistently, day after day. Those words hit Arav like a bolt of lightning. Small actions, repeated consistently. The idea was so simple, yet so profound. For the first time, Arav didn't feel overwhelmed by his big dreams. He felt a spark of hope. Maybe he didn't have to change his whole life overnight. Maybe he just had to plant one small seed. That evening, Arav decided to start. He set his alarm for 6 a.m. The first seed, a daily jog, just like Gopal Kaka. The next morning was tough. His bed felt incredibly comfortable, and every part of his body screamed to stay put. But he remembered the image of the tiny seed and forced himself up. That first jog was more of a clumsy shuffle, and he was out of breath in minutes. But he did it, decided to plant another seed. After his jog, he would sit down and study for just 1 hour. No phone, no distractions, just him and his books. The first few days were torture. His mind would wander, he'd feel bored, and the temptation to just quit and watch videos was immense. He felt like giving up 100 times. Whenever he felt discouraged, he would see Gopal Kaka on his morning run, his face calm and determined. Arav would sometimes stop to talk to him, and Gopal Kaka would offer simple encouragement. "The first few weeks are the hardest," he'd say. "Your old self will fight back. But every time you choose your new habit, you are watering that seed. Just focus on today, win today." Slowly, but surely, something began to change. His morning jogs got easier. He could run a little farther, a little faster. The 1 hour of study started to feel less like a chore and more like an opportunity. He was actually learning things, and the feeling of accomplishment was addictive. Weeks turned into months. The small habits were no longer a struggle. They were just a part of his day, as natural as breathing. He started adding more habits, reading for 30 minutes before bed, practicing a new skill for 15 minutes. Each one was a new seed being planted and watered. One day, an announcement came for a prestigious national scholarship program. It was Arav's ultimate dream. The selection process was incredibly rigorous, involving a tough academic exam and a demanding physical fitness test. In the past, Arav would have just daydreamed about winning, but this time was different. He looked at the requirements, and a quiet confidence filled him. The physical test? His daily jogs had prepared him for it. The academic exam? His daily study sessions had built a solid foundation of knowledge. He didn't need to cram or pull all-nighters. His preparation had been happening all along, one day at a time, for months. While others were panicking and trying to learn everything at the last minute, Arav simply continued his daily routine, refining his knowledge and pushing his physical limits just a little bit more each day. On the day of the test, he was calm. He aced the academic portion, answering questions with a clarity that surprised even himself. During the physical trials, he ran with endurance and strength he never knew he possessed. He passed, securing a top spot in the scholarship program. When he received the acceptance letter, his first visit was to Gopal Kaka's house. He handed him the letter, his eyes filled with gratitude. Gopal Kaka read it and smiled that same gentle smile. "You did this, Arav," he said. "Your discipline did this. Your habits did this." Arav finally understood the true secret, he said. "I always thought I needed to feel motivated to do things. But on so many days, I felt zero motivation. I wanted to quit." He paused, then realized, motivation gets you started, but habits are what keep you going. When motivation fades, discipline takes over. Arav's story became an inspiration in his community. He started mentoring younger kids, not by giving grand speeches, but by sharing his simple philosophy. He taught them that real change doesn't come from big, dramatic leaps. It comes from the small, almost invisible choices you make every single day. Waking up a little earlier, reading one more page, doing one more push-up. These are the things that build a successful life. So what about you? What's your big dream? Don't let its size paralyze you. Instead, ask yourself, what is the smallest possible action I can take today? What tiny seed can I plant right now? Maybe it's putting on your running shoes and walking for just 10 minutes. Maybe it's opening a book and reading a single paragraph. Because greatness isn't born from a single moment of inspiration. It's forged in the quiet consistency of your daily routine. It's the product of patience, perseverance, and the incredible power of small habits. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how your own forest of success begins to grow. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you build a better life, one habit at a time.